When I bought my Axial truck, this is an SCX10 truck, it came as a Dingo kit. This is actually a honcho body. Showed you guys a few weeks ago how to paint and cut this one. I put the 2.2 inch tires on the SCX10 instead of the 1.9 inch, so I needed a bit more clearance. All needed to be custom cut. But because I use this honcho body, it means that I still have the Dingo body that came with the kit laying around. It is a rather boxy body, it looks a bit like a Land Rover Defender. What I want to try and do is, rather than giving it that modern Defender look where the headlights sit in the fender section of the body, I want to put the headlights in the grille, and I want to make big cutouts to get enough clearance for the wheels. Furthermore, I want to give it a police theme, so I'm not sure which colors I'm going to pick yet. First I'm going to cut everything, make sure that everything lines up. Also with the cage and the additional parts that came with the kit. Make sure that everything fits and that it lines up correct, and afterwards I'm going to put on the paint. I made like a rough cutout, so I'm done with the prep work. I can start determining how my final lines need to be cut now. I will also mark up the body post. That's really handy to do before the body is painted, because afterwards you won't be able to see where you need to ream out or drill your holes. I'll be using a body reamer to put in the holes. Same goes for the holes that I need to make to attach the cage and the front windscreen. As you can see, it's really rough around the edges still, so I'm going to sand it down a bit with my sanding drum on my Dremel. Cut it out a bit more, make sure everything lines up and fits correct before I start masking it up and eventually paint it. Now I reamed out the holes for the body posts. Right now I'm going to determine with some simple measuring tools and a Sharpie, going to determine how much I need to cut out in order to get all the clearance I need for these big tires. I started off by cutting the front left corner. What I will do, I will check now if there is enough room for the wheel. These suspension setups, the high lift setups, they have quite a bit of articulation, so I need to make sure that everything runs freely before I put the lines on the other corner. By doing this, by starting out on one corner, I make sure that I don't have to correct a whole front end if it turns out that it doesn't work correctly with my suspension setup. It will basically save me the trouble. So what I'll do, make sure that this corner works correct first. Afterwards I'll copy all the lines on the other corner and cut out that bit as well, and then I'm moving on to the rear section here. The front end is now completely cut. As you can tell, I ended up with a narrow grille section. The stock Dingo body has the headlights in these parts that I've cut out. I want to put them in here. It gives it a bit more of a classic Jeep kind of look, and that's what I'm going for with this one. Finished up all the cutting, got enough clearance all around, everything lines up nicely, got my holes drilled, so basically ready to wash out the body with some hand soap, carefully dry it, and go mask it up to prep it for the paintwork. Before I start my cutting, I'm going to show you guys how I masked up the truck. I didn't bother with anything in the interior, just apart from the complete interior in itself. Axial provides this sticker sheet, which is, as you can tell, it's pretty much covering every part of the interior. So all I want to do is make sure that I have a good background color. In this case I'm going to use a gunmetal. One simple reason, I'm out of black. So a gunmetal will do just fine in this case. I covered up the interior first because the main parts of the car are going to be a blue metallic. You can imagine if it would be a true sheriff's truck or something like that, it would be a brown color, a beige color. But if you go out in the woods, like you do with a crawler, and if there's a lot of leaves laying around, you won't be able to see the car. And I'm basically going for high visibility. So I'm going for a blue metallic, and to top that off, I'm going for fluorescent orange, yellow, some white, and some silver. The 5 parts that I masked up on the front are going to be like a diamond plate, like you see on a true Land Rover Defender utility truck. Since this is a police car, it says right on the door over here, I would figure that in real life it would also have those diamond plates on the hood, just to make it like easier to step on it or to walk over it, whatever, just to toughen it up a tiny bit. The parts on the doors. I printed out my lettering simply because it makes my life so much easier when I'm cutting. I put it on the lamp, I can exactly see which lines I need to trace. I have a tiny ruler ready, I have my blade ready, so that should all go just fine. And around the word police, I want to put, I think in a checkered pattern, some warning colors. Apart from that, I also want to put some chevrons in warning colors on the back, like you would see on an actual police car. I think when all is done, it will look pretty scale, or as scale as it can get, because it is of course a ridiculous looking thing with the big wheels and high suspension. But say if I was a cop, I would be happy to drive this. I'm done cutting all my masking tape, so my next step is to take you guys inside my paint booth. Other people would call it my kitchen, I call it my paint booth. In the background over here you see the colors and the order in which I'm going to paint them on. Actually need to swoosh these two around. First I'm going to use the blue metallic on the main parts of the body. Afterwards I'm going to use this bright silver on some of the diamond plating that's going on the hood section of the car. I'm going to back that, well, I guess I can do it like this. I'm going to back that with the gunmetal to make sure that it pops a bit more. Afterwards I'm going to put on the silver. Then I'm going to put on some yellow in the chevron parts on the back, maybe even on the doors. Not sure about that yet. Might go for white and a fluorescent orange, or I will go for a yellow and a fluorescent orange. I need to see what looks best. Yellow, fluorescent orange. I'm going to back everything with white, and afterwards I'm going to put this flat clear on the outside of those diamond plates on the hood. I peel these parts out. In the part where I show you guys how to paint an FG BMW body, how to put in all the mesh, I used drywall tape to put in the mesh in the bumper. What I'm going to do here is put in these diamond plate sections. I'm going to use the same drywall tape, except I'm not going to put it in a 45-degree angle like I did in the BMW. I'm just going to keep it straight. Afterwards I'm going to back it with a really light coat of bright silver. I hope it's translucent enough to make like a tiny shade of difference with the regular silver. that I will be putting on afterwards. I will back the bright silver with the gunmetal color, so that's why I peel this first. I will mask it up with the drywall tape, give it a shot of bright silver. After that I will peel off the masking tape of the interior and give everything in one go, one coat of gunmetal. The metallic looking plates in the hood section, I'm going to give them a flat appearance. So what I did, I cut through the clear overspray film and I'm going to fill that in with a Tamiya PS55, which is the flat clear coat. I'm going to peel it out first, leave the rest of the overspray film on, spray my coat. It has to be really thin and nice and even, and afterwards I'm going to peel off the rest of the overspray film and we're basically prepped for the stickering. Got my clear coat on, it's time to peel off the clear overspray film, or what's left of it, because these 5 pieces I cut them out prior to putting on that flat clear coat. As you can tell, it is matte right now. In my last video I got a question why I peel off the clear overspray film so slowly. Well, in this case I'm not going to do it that slowly, because people usually just ram it off, and with the BMW I took it off that slowly to check for tiny flaws in my paintwork. If there is a tiny flaw in your paintwork, and if you have only peeled off say 5 or 10 centimeters of the clear overspray film, you can always go back and correct it. So you just put the film back over the body of the car, and you get some time and some opportunity to make some alterations if you need to. This one was pretty straightforward, so I'm not too concerned about how it turns out or if there are any mistakes. There'll be plenty of stickers on it as well. So what I noticed when spraying this body is that there is such a lot of depth difference. Then on some bits it can be quite tricky to get your paint all the way in there. For example, here where those, well, let's call it a chair, it's half a chair, it's just a backrest. Now, unless you are a very skilled gynecologist, I recommend not putting the cage and the front windscreen on just yet, because it will get really in the way if you try to put on those stickers. And like that it's way easier. Paint is on, stickers is on, body is on the car, so I guess that wraps it up. Hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. If you have any questions, shoot them in the box below. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. I don't know where it is nowadays, up, down. Just click the subscribe button. Pass the videos on to a friend. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time around.